o'clock, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome each of you here tonight. We're so glad you came. It's so good to see a house full. I'd like to call our meeting to order and ask you to stand for the invitation by Mr. Hood and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the many blessings that you've given us. We ask that you be with us this evening. We pray that you bless our decisions and bless the students and parents who have come to celebrate all these wonderful accomplishments. We pray these things in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next item is item number 4, which is approval of the agenda, and I will need a motion. Ms. Olson, do I have a second? Ms. Burgess. Ready to vote? All those in favor of tonight's agenda, please show up by the uplifted hand. Item number 5 is the minutes of the October 28th meeting. You were each emailed a copy, or do we have any corrections or additions to be made at this time? Hearing none, I will need a motion to approve the minutes.
I do so much.
Dr. Neal, do I have a second? Second. Ms. Hood. All those in favor, please show by the uplifted hand. Dr. Young, would you recognize our press?
I don't think we have any here tonight, so I can't tell. We got a large crowd. I'm not sure if it's because of all the recognitions of students, or they heard that the auditor was giving his report here.
I would hope that the recognition of the students.
If you're okay with it, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Moore. We've got some students that we're going to celebrate.
Thank you, Dr. Young, and good evening. It is great to see a full house here. Typically, we don't have this large of a crowd at our board meetings, so it is great to see our community here in full force. I'm Brad Moore. I'm the Chief Academic Officer here at Anderson School District 1, and we have quite the opportunity this evening to recognize our schools and their school report card rating, as well as some very intelligent students in our midst that we look forward to recognizing. Before I do that, I want to recognize some folks. First of all, you may be attending a board meeting for the first time. We have a school board that creates the conditions for the success that we're going to celebrate tonight. So I just want to recognize our hardworking board for the support that they give us, that they provide for us. Additionally, we have a learning team, an instructional team that we work together to lead our instructional program, and they're here to support as well. So they're going to get mad at me because I'm calling them out, but that's okay. That's what I do. But I see Dr. Christy Shealy here is our Director of Student Services. Ms. Kristen Hearn is here, Director of Digital Learning, and then Director of Testing and Accountability, April Hayes, is here. So how about a big round of applause for those people? To this direction and hope that it stays on and it works, which you know me in technology, there's a 50-50 chance. In Anderson School District 1, we follow what the state of South Carolina asks us to do and tells us to do, and there is a report card rating system. You can find it online. Every school across the every school across the state gets a rating. They achieve a rating. And it's calculated through some math that I can't do. And then there's really a focus on student achievement and growth. And so one of the things that we like to brag about, and we want to brag about this evening, is that 100% of our schools, that's all of them in Anderson School District 1, at least meet and most exceed the criteria for what we call the profile of the South Carolina graduate. 6 of our schools received an excellent rating. 5 of them received a good rating. And I'll just throw this up here on the screen. The Educational Oversight Committee has this that we utilize. Our folks in the district know this, our profile of the South Carolina graduate, where we talk about the knowledge, skills, and life and career characteristics that make our students college and career ready. And so it is wonderful that 100% of our schools meet and exceed that criteria. The criteria that you see here, and you'll see some schools recognized for this, excellent schools, schools that are rated excellent, those schools substantially exceed criteria. Good schools exceed the criteria, and average, which is kind of a misnomer, average means they meet the criteria. And as you heard me describe, all of our schools are rated average or above, which is phenomenal. But also, we want to recognize students who are here who achieve the highest obtainable skill score. So you might hear people say perfect score, and that's fine, but we like this. This is in the statistical world known as the highest obtainable skill score. They got as high as that they can get in terms of their score on SC Ready, 3rd through 8th grade, in ELA, math, or science. And we're going to recognize our schools for their report card and our students with the highest obtainable skill score. So the way this will work is we'll ask the school to come up. If we have teachers, administrators that want to be a part of that, we'd ask you to be here at the front. And then once we've recognized the school, we'll move on to those recognitions of students with highest obtainable skill score. And then we're going to take a picture here. And so if we have any parents that you don't want your child photographed and put on any social media accounts, we would ask you to make sure that you let us know that before we take the picture. So I'm going to ask Mr. White, anybody from Cedar Grove who would like to get us started with our highest obtainable skill score for Cedar Grove.
Good evening. I'm Matt White. I'm the principal at Cedar Grove Elementary. We are very excited to recognize two outstanding students that received the highest obtainable skill score. Both of these are in ELA. So if I call your name, if you'll please join me here so we can celebrate you. Miss Sarah Bryant. And also Miss Lila Clark.
Thank you, Mr. White. Congratulations to those students. And we're going to move on to Mr. Kuhn, I believe, is here, and Palmetto Elementary School with the highest obtainable skill score.
Good evening. Again, I'm Brandon Kuhn. I'm principal at Palmetto Elementary School, and we are thrilled to recognize Ms. Caitlin Hunt for our highest obtainable skill score, not only in ELA, but also in science.
Mr. Kuhn and I agree, we would not have received this award if it were around during the time we were in elementary. So thank you very much and congratulations. All right, we want to move on and recognize, first of all, Hunt Meadows for a good report card rating, 24-25. So I believe Mr. Love is here, and then he will proceed with our recognitions for our students.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. I'm Chad Love. I'm the assistant principal at Hunt Meadows Elementary School, and we are excited to honor two students here today. So we have Ben Dixon, who scored the highest obtainable score in math. Congratulations, Ben. And then we have Miss Claire Reeves, who scored the highest obtainable score in ELA. Congratulations.
We want to invite our friends from Powdersville Elementary School. They're being recognized for an excellent report card as well as Palmetto Gold recognition. So I see Ms. Martin is here. Hold on to this.
teachers are not out there, you can come on up here. I want to stand up here alone. Okay, we have a few students to recognize. I'm not sure if everyone is here, so I'm going to go ahead and call on the names. We have Olivia Brownback. Skill score for science and math. Nora Cagle. Piper Costello. Skill score for math. Next, Meryl Fenimore. Skill score for EMA. John Griffin. Alice Hudgens. Skill score for ELA. Elizabeth Hupman. Darcy Kitchen, highest obtainable skill score for math. Natalia Lopez, highest obtainable skill score for ELA. Tanner Masadi, highest obtainable skill score for math. Zoe Masopoulos, highest obtainable skill score for math. Kelvin Nguyen, highest obtainable skill score for math. Finley Olin, highest obtainable skill score ELA. Madison Payne, highest obtainable skill score ELA. Everett Payne, highest obtainable skill score math. James Preston, highest obtainable skill score math. Mary Grace Thomas, highest obtainable skill score math. Arden Weir, highest obtainable skill score ELA. And Jacob Wood, highest obtainable skill score science.
I'm going to invite, I think I see Mr. Leslie back there. We're going to recognize Spearman Elementary for an excellent report card and Palmetto Silver designation.
Hi, I'm Jason Leslie, principal at Spearman Elementary School. I believe I have a few teachers here if they want to come up. We have a few students I'm very, very proud of. They've worked very hard and they have done a great job on the SE Ready score. We have Catherine Burns, the highest obtainable skill score for science. Sailor Crouchman, highest attainable skill score for SE Ready ELA. Scout Cunningham, highest attainable skill score for the ELA. Mason Fettersfield, highest attainable skill score for math. Grayson Hill, highest attainable skill score for math. And Rose Johnson, highest attainable skill score for science. Jamel Presley, highest attainable skill score for science. Maggie Proctor, highest attainable skill score for math. Mercy Summy, highest attainable skill score for ELA. Judah Tolan, highest attainable skill score for math. L. Walker, highest attainable skill score for ELA.
Thank you, Mr. Leslie. Congratulations. We'll have them take a picture, and we will move on to recognizing our friends from West Belzer for their good overall report card rating for 24-25. So Ms. Leopard, Mr. Cromer. I believe we have students for highest attainable skill score, so we will recognize our friends from Renan Elementary School for their good report card rating. I see Dr. Sutton, Mr. Vaughn, if they'll make their way in this direction. And we have some teachers and staff that need to make their way up this direction as well.
We are excited to honor 7 students. Lily Blackwell for math. We have Micah Bowman for ELA. We have Micah Mitchell for ELA and for science. We have Arissa Morrow for ELA. We have Levi Mostanic for math. Mariah for ELA. And Blakely Wilson for math.
All right, we're going to move on to our middle schools. I think Mr. Crossett is here, and we want to recognize Palmetto Middle School for their good overall report card rating and Palmetto Silver designation.
Hey, I'd like to recognize 2 of our students tonight for the highest scale scores, or HOS scores as we affectionately call them. In science, Josiah Bryan. And our second HOS score, the highest obtainable scale score, Milo Vonderset.
All right, we'll move on to Mr. Williams back there. We want to recognize Howardville Middle School for their good overall report card rating and Palmetto Silver designation.
We are excited to recognize several students for obtaining the highest technical skill score. We'll start with Sophia Ananyan in math. Next is Josephine Anderson in ELA. Next is Jackson Grace in science. Next is Knox Harden in ELA. Catherine Hubman in math. Next is Bryce Knox in math. Next is Pablo Martinez Ballesteros in ELA and math. Next is Harper Grace Miller in ELA. Next is Lillian Savage in math. Next is Damian Stansel in science. Next is Kellen Tarnowski in ELA. Next is Audrey Thomas in math and science. Last is Trevin Tomeo in math and science.
Middle School, I see Ms. Adams, they'll make their way this direction. We want to recognize Wren Middle School for their excellent report card rating and the Palmetto Gold designation. So any Wren Middle School teachers and staff that want to join.
All right, up first we have Ty Garrison in math. Dean Horner in math. Tacey Klein in math. Ria Patel in math. Josiah Tolan in math. Garrett Moore in ELA. Tegan Yost, ELA.
We're going to wait, make our high school friends wait for a minute. So sorry, guys back there. It's not Langford, I'm sorry. We're going to let Wren Middle take their picture, and then we want to show off the group. By the way, did you notice that was a lot of names? A lot of names. That's a good thing. And so we want, in just a moment, any students, parents, if you're willing to let your student be photographed, we want to invite all the students that were just recognized for a highest attainable skill score back to the front, and we would like our school board to join us in a group picture to celebrate these students. So, if we can have any student that wants to join us for a group picture back this direction, and then forward, if you would join us please for a picture.
We're gonna do this. Are you ready to speak?
All right, is everybody ready? Looking in the center here.
All right, students, thank you. If you don't mind having a seat for just about 3 more minutes. So we're going to recognize our high schools now, and I want to brag on our high schools for a moment. We'll share this with the board again just later on in our meeting. We have 3 excellent rated high schools in Anderson School District 1, which I think for the first time that we can deliver. So I see Dr. Jones, I believe. If I can have Dr. Jones make his way this direction. We have the pleasure of recognizing Palmetto High School for their excellent report card rating and Palmetto Silver designation. Big round of applause for Palmetto. Our resident do everything media person, Ms. Jen Mazza, is knocking out of the park tonight. So we have Powdersville High School. I see Dr. Lanford in the back, so we want to recognize Powdersville High School for their excellent report card rating. Nothing is easy with Dr. Langford. And then we want to, last but not least, recognize, I see Dr. Whitfield in the back, Wren High School for their excellent report card rating and Palmetto Silver designation. Okay, last request for a picture. If we can have all administrators that represent a school with a Palmetto or an excellent report card rating to the front. We would love to have all excellent schools represented for a picture. You guys stay there. Board, this would be a great opportunity, please, if you don't mind joining us again for tonight's picture. once again, as I turn it back over to Dr. Young and our board, we just want to say on behalf of Anderson School District 1 how grateful we are for our Anderson 1 community and the support parents that you provide. Very proud of our students and certainly our schools that are well represented here tonight. We work and live and interact with a lot of great people, and we're blessed with that. So thank you, and we appreciate the board for giving us a few extra minutes to recognize these folks today.
Anytime, our pleasure. All these, congratulations.
It's up to you. We have just a couple more folks we'd like to recognize that are sitting up here on the front row. So I'm going to turn it over. We've got some folks that are joining our team in Anderson 1.
My name is Nora Kramer. I will be graduating in May with my master's from Clemson University, and I'm being recommended for an open contract for the next school year. My name is Ashlyn Strom. I'll be graduating in May with my master's from Clemson University, and I'm recommended for an open contract here at Anderson 1 for the fall. I'm Caroline Wren. I'm currently here at Wren Middle for my residency placement, so I'll be graduating in May with my master's from Clemson University, and I'm excited to be joining Wren Middle next year. Hi everybody, my name is Dylan White. I am currently a resident at Clemson University as well. I'll be graduating in May with my master's. I'm currently at Powdersville High School teaching English, but I'm super excited and grateful to be at Palmetto High School next year.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Kirby. I'm a senior at Anderson University. I will graduate in May with my math education degree, and I'm excited to be part of the team next year.
Hi, I'm Emily Thompson. I'll also be graduating in May from Anderson University with a degree in secondary math education, and I'll be student teaching at Palmetto Middle and Palmetto High School.
I'm Jackson Wilson. I graduate from Anderson University on December 12th of this year. Sit right on the corner, and I have an elementary education degree, and I'm super blessed and thankful that you guys allow me this opportunity.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Knight. I will be graduating with my master's degree from Clemson University in May, and I have accepted an open contract with Anderson School District 1 for next year.
Let me be the first, on behalf of our Anderson County School District 1 board, that we welcome you to the best school district in South Carolina. So we will meet you. You are not required to stay. You're free to leave this time. Next
Right now we have 49 CDs with a little over $11 million invested. In October, you'll see we had just over $250,000 in interest accrued during the month of October. On the third page, you'll see a summary of all of our different investment accounts. One thing I'm going to point out the SCL, GIP, 2025 GIP, you'll see it's just over $1 million. Obligation bonds that we've been spending on the bill and some of the other things. That money is being transferred to the building accounts. But that is why that number is so low. And get that for the last $1,000, you have to call and move that to the other account. But that's why that account is so low. You're wondering why that was flagged. On the following page, you'll see the backups for accounts 1, 2, and 3. The following account is the backup to number 4. The next is the backup to 5. And the last blue page is the backup to 6. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Thomas. Good question. Yes, sir. At AU dual enrollment, the way that works is there is a small fee that students pay to take those classes. So it goes into a local account at each school, and then we write a check to AU for the cost of those courses.
Thanks, sir.
Mr. Thomas.
All right, thanks, Dr. Hill. We've got a couple of reports to go over. Our first being Subfund 502, and this is our 2022-2025 building program combined. You see total revenue at $54.3 million. Total expenses so far at $48.9 million. That leaves our current balance at a little over $7 million. Bottom of the page, you can see the completed projects as well as OPL predicament is still in progress. Next report is our local option sales tax report, Subfund 515. And this reflects collections for the month of July. Anderson County as a whole received a little more than $3.6 million for the month. Just under 34% of that is allocated for Anderson 1 based on our student size. That generates a little over $1.2 million. 20% of that goes to property tax relief, $246,000. And then the remaining 8% for capital use, $984,000. Below that, you can see the beginning fund balance for the month, a little over $21 million. Add your revenue and interest, the extra expenses for sales tax, 21.8 million. And you can also see at the bottom the recent projects or ongoing projects and purchases that are ongoing.
Document two, that's really good, that lot of footnote there. In the future, could we kind of keep a running tally of all the things we've done for the last 7 years with that capital use, which is not expenses, is to keep up with the growing student base.
So, absolutely, we're definitely making sure that we do that, and actually working with the other superintendents and accountants to make sure that all of us are able to account for everything, so we can make sure that everything's there.
All right, the next report is our revenue report. This is also for the month of October. Revenue received for the month, as you can see, is $8.1 million. And total revenue received year to date, $26.9 million. And that puts us at about 22% of budget so far. And the last, our final report is our expenditure report. It's a 2-pager that has the totals on page 2. Expenses for the month of October, $10,628,000. And total expenses year to date, $32.7 million, which puts us at 27% of budget on the expenses. And that's all I have unless there are any questions.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Okay, Dr. Young, want to go ahead?
Next, we're going to turn it over to Ken, who's going to do our financial audit presentation.
All right. Let me use that.
I know we got a big crowd.
Yeah, we put everything on. I thought this might be the rowdiest audit presentation. Unfortunately not. So. Not yet. Anyway, I'm Ken Meadows. For those that haven't met me, audit partner with Greenfield College. It's our pleasure to serve as the auditing firm again this year. We appreciate that opportunity. So, I also want to thank Cindy and Travis. Both the audit went very well this year. They did a great job getting us all the information we need, answering all our questions, giving us information on a timely basis. So, you should have the audit presentation in front of you. I'll quickly run through it. That kind of highlights everything. One thing you'll notice that you don't have tonight is the final audit report, the financial statements. That's because the compliance supplement was just issued before Thanksgiving. And now the State Department of Education is putting out their audit. It should be put out this week, and then that will allow us to finalize everything. So the numbers basically shouldn't change. Everything should be the same, but until we get that audit guide and confirm that we've done everything we should do, we can't really finalize it. So, one thing you'll notice on the opinion, it kind of does a good job outlining who's responsible for what. I'll just highlight that, it's our responsibility to provide reasonable assurance, not absolute assurance, that the financial statements are materially correct. So the concept of materiality is that we don't audit every transaction the district enters into. We may do a scope of certain ones or a sampling, or we may do some analytical procedures, but we don't look at everything. So, and then I also mentioned we issued an unmodified opinion. That's the best opinion you can get. So that's what we usually get. So that's good. So there's no modifications necessary. Next few slides will kind of look at the general fund. You'll see the general fund this year decreased $300,000 to about $34.9 billion, the fund balance. That decrease we'll see in a couple of slides was really driven by the $4.4 million transfer out of the general fund to the capital projects fund. So after that, you would have actually had a fund balance increase this year. So in the general fund. Of that $34.9 million, you'll see 0.2 of that is non-spendable, which really related to inventories. And then you've appropriated about $700,000 of that for the fiscal year 26 budget. So, and that leaves basically $34 million as unassigned fund balance. So to put that in perspective, that's about 30% of actual expenditures, about 28% of fiscal year 26 budgeted expenditures, so about 3 months there, a little bit more than 3 months. The GFOA, the Governmental Financial Officers Association, recommends at least 2 months in fund balance. And the district's goal is 2 to 3 months, so you're all right, a little bit above that 3-month mark, so you'll met your goal there. So, you know, you want to have a healthy fund balance, particularly at June 30th, because, you know, you receive your property taxes at the beginning of the calendar year. At June 30th, you have to have enough cash on hand to sustain yourself for another 6 months before the property taxes start coming back in. So you want to have a healthy fund balance at June 30th. That basically represents the cash flow you need to sustain yourself for the next 6 months. And then also, it's always important to have some set aside for emergencies or other unanticipated expenditures. Looking at the general fund revenues this year, they were about $106 million. You'll see most of that comes from the state. About $71 million comes from the state. About $33 million comes from property taxes. And then you get about $2.5 million from other local revenues. That's mainly investment earnings. Compared to last year, revenues increased $6.7 million. The state, you'll see, increased funding by about $4 million, and property taxes increased about $3.2 million. You had a slight decrease in federal funding, about $0.8 million, and then you'll also see that investment income also went up, or other local revenues went up about $3 million.
Would a better way to say that be 3.2 million increase in property taxes or 3.2 million increase from property taxes?
Yeah, from property taxes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, it's not.
Not to be picking on prepositions. I mean.
From
whatever that word is. I can't remember. But that makes a difference.
Yes. We don't want anyone to get the wrong impression. So, compared to budget, revenues were $4.8 million over budget, and they came in higher than budgeted. The state funding came in $1.8 million higher than budgeted. Property taxes came in $1.6 million higher than budgeted, and then investment earnings were $1.2 million higher than budgeted. So that's the revenues for the year for the general fund. You'll see here the expenditures for the general fund for the year were almost $113 million. As you would expect, most of that's in instruction and then support services. That's a $7.2 million increase from the prior year. You'll see instruction and support services both increased. Instruction went up $5.5 million, and support services expenditures went up $1.8 billion. Both of those were driven by salaries and benefits. Salaries and benefits. Compared to budget, expenditures came in for the general fund under budget by about $1.3 million. And then also the general fund had some transfers. As I mentioned, it transferred out $4.4 million to the capital projects fund this year. And then they also transferred in $10.7 million of state aid classrooms. The state funds the state aid classrooms through the special revenue EIA fund, and then that money is transferred over to basically cover costs of the general fund. So that's a real quick overview of the general fund. Next, we'll just mention the special revenue funds. You'll see the special projects and EIA funds. There was a $1.6 million fund balance at year end related to student activity funds. And they're basically, Medicaid also has some that might carry over, but most of the other funds or components of the special projects fund and EIA funds don't have a fund balance. But you do carry over some of that funding from year to year. So this year you'll see you carried over about $700,000 compared to about $600,000 from last year. The food service fund had a fund balance of $1.6 million at year end, and that's a planned decrease of about $700,000. The state generally wants you to limit your fund balance to about 3 months worth of expenditures. So I think the district this year had some planned spending to decrease that fund balance. And that's why I had $700,000 to get you below that, with the goal of getting below the 3 months goal. Next, looking at the capital assets and capital projects fund, we'll see capital assets, the main activity this year, capital assets increase about $27 million. You'll see that current year construction additions of almost $33 million. That included Oak Hill Elementary, construction there, and that concrete primary. Cedar Grove HVAC was also a major project, and then there were various roofing projects around the year. The capital projects fund at year end had a fund balance of $33.5 million. You'll see that $33.5 million is made up of $21.3 million of the local option sales tax or any sales tax funding, unspent proceeds from that at year end, and then also unspent bond proceeds of about $12.2 million at year end. Outstanding commitments at year end were about $20.4 million. So we had $33.5 million in the capital projects fund. We had outstanding commitments for that of $20.4 million at year end. Looking at long-term obligations in the debt service fund at June 30th, debt outstanding was almost $169 million. That's an increase of about $4.7 million. You'll see that the issued about $15 million, or issued $15 million of general obligation bonds this past fiscal year. And you also paid down debt of almost $10 million, $9.7 million this year. And you had some amortization of bond premiums of $1.1 million. Next year, in fiscal year 26, debt service payments will be almost $21 million. And the debt service fund has a fund balance of about $6 million, or about 29% of the $21 million at June 30th. Now, also note that the debt service fund collected in local option sales tax revenues this year about $2.8 million. So that continues to benefit the district, that 1% sales tax. The debt service fund particularly benefits taxpayers because it reduces the amount of debt service that has to be collected. Looking at the statement of net position, just highlight that. Cash and investments were at $89 million at the end of the year. We've already talked about capital assets. You'll see accounts payable and other accrued expenses were about $17.6 million at year end. We talked about the debt, the long-term obligations. You'll see the two items at the bottom, the net pension accounts and net OPEB accounts. Those are basically your allocations of the state's unfunded plans. So that's technically an accounting liability of the district, but it's not a true liability in that y'all will have to pay those amounts. It's really, the accounting guidance says that if you participate in these unfunded plans, you have to recognize your portion of those deficits in those plans. And that's basically what the 102 for the pension and the $101 million for the OPEB is. Good thing is the pension account actually went down this year. Pension liability actually went down this year. Unfortunately, the OPEB went the other way, so, but at least one of them went down. So that's a real quick overview of the statement of net position. You'll look this year, we audited two programs, federal programs, USDA and IDA for the single audit. Both of those look good. Your compliance with those, we didn't note any issues, no findings, no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses. We also didn't note anything related to internal controls. No significant deficiencies or material weaknesses related to internal controls. So the management letter, which I'll probably have a draft of that. Hopefully, if not, you'll get a formal management letter when we issue the financial statements. You'll see it's pretty similar to last year's, nothing really to call your attention to. It will have the same note that we usually have about the bookkeepers and the lack of segregation of duties at the schools. That's a pretty common comment, but just bear in mind that is, you do have that weakness out there in the internal control structure. So just in summary, you got an unmodified opinion. The audit went very well. And I think you're in very good financial condition at June 30th.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Sure, slide 5. I'm not gonna ask you a question, I'm gonna make statements, don't worry.
All right. I don't have any numbers, so is it general fund revenue?
Yes,
or-
that's it.
Yeah. I think it's worth noting, since we just recognized 60-something kids, students, so many schools that are rated so well in our district of the 13 schools. If you do the math on $106 million that we get, 66% is from the state. I think there's 78 public school districts in the state of South Carolina. Excuse me. Yes, of that, that's the lowest number in the state. Would that be right, Dr. Young? Am my math right on that?
We're either lowest or next.
And everybody else's number would be higher than money they get from the state, yet we're still excelling in the classroom. So that has everything to do with the people we're hiring and the families, the students in this, and the students and the families in this community. So.
Sure.
Money well spent.
Yeah.
He has a lot of supportive school board as well.
Coming at the top.
My kids had good teachers like Wendy over here.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you.
It was our pleasure to serve. Once again, if y'all ever, I always say this, if y'all ever have any concerns, please let me know. Be glad to look at it when we come in for interim field work in the spring or in the summer, or in final field work in the late summer and early fall. So please let us know if you ever have any concerns.
Thank you, Ken.
Dr. Young, you want to go ahead?
Next, Mr. Moore's got a couple other things just to.
Yep, just going to kind of wrap up that business. And first of all, just again, thank you for letting us celebrate today. We always enjoy doing that. And we also feel strongly that you need to see the fruits of your labor and your service. So we thank you for that. I wanted to share, first of all, before I get into kind of close the book on some of the report card information, we're trying to do more of what we did tonight in our schools. And so the instructional team has started to go out and about and recognizing our teams across the district. In this case, we've got our folks from the third grade team from Cedar Grove. They had our highest growth in proficiency in ELA and math. So that was fun to celebrate. We told them that they made the competition crumble. That was as good as I could do with my crumble cookies.
That's pretty good there.
I did the best I could. And then we went over to Palmetto too, and we've got our third grade team. They tied the largest increase in proficiency. And so there were some good things to celebrate. We're going to continue that throughout our schools for the next couple of weeks. That was just something that was part of our guiding coalition that we have at the district level. And we really felt like we need to do a better job of getting out there and celebrating our folks too. So it's been fun to do. We shared this already with the board, and it's in your packets. I don't want to rehash that, but I did want to mention this last slide, because one of the things I know Dr. Young and I do when we start to get these results is start to compile results and make sense of it, if that makes sense. And so just another deeper dive and perspective into the school report card information. There are 36 school districts by our count that have at least 10 schools. And when you do the math, Anderson 1 is one of just 11 of those 36 that have all of their schools that meet criteria or exceed. And then if you look a little bit deeper, Anderson 1, we have the fourth highest percentage of good and excellent of those districts that had at least 10 schools. And so we were in the top 4. Of course, our friends from Fort Mill and York 4 were up there. And then I think a couple of Spartanburg districts. Anderson 1 and York 4 are also the only district that have at least 3 high schools that had all excellent rated high schools. And we thought that was phenomenal. I want to give a shout out to our high school principals and administration and teachers, but also April Hayes, who you know, who has done a phenomenal job on the testing and accountability front. Making sense of the math, as Ms. Burgess will shake her hand and agree. It is quite the ordeal to make sense of it and make sure you're touching all those pieces and you got your math right and you're doing what you should be doing to score as well as you can on the report card. So shout out to April. Powdersville, Hot Spring High are top 2 rated in the Anderson County, Pickens County area high schools, which is phenomenal. Palmetto High School is also excellent and ranks very high, especially compared to those that have a poverty index in their neighborhood, which is excellent. Red Middle School represented here. We appreciate them being here and supporting us. They're the highest rated middle school in that Anderson County, Pickens County area. And then Powdersville Elementary School is the third highest elementary school among all the Anderson districts. And that's via the report card. Of course, we shared the test scores and proficiency information earlier this year. That just kind of closes the book for us. Are there any questions or comments related to the report card?
No, but since Nicole and Ms. Angela sitting still in the room, I just want to acknowledge the fact that Red Middle, it stuck with me that you said y'all talk about every single student, and that is why y'all are excellent. That is what it takes. So hats off, great job.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Burgess.
One of the things I want to add about construction is, and Heather's getting you a copy of it if you care, but one of the things we've been talking about with all the great stuff going on in our schools is how do we keep avoiding that trap of status quo. So there's a book that I heard the author speak on the Andy Stanley podcast, and then I read the book Beyond High Performance, and basically what it talks about is how to keep pushing the limit, keep getting better, and making sure that we're doing everything we can to not just settle for what we have and to keep striving. And I'm going to echo what Ms. Burgess just said about Ren Middle School. They've really taken to making sure that those little nuggets we share about not falling victim to the status quo and being happy where you are and continuing to get better. And they share that out with their staff and the feedback that we've got. But continuing just to push that limit, because our goal is to have all of our schools excellent, and our goal is to catch Fort Mill and York 4, and we're going to do it, and we're going to keep pushing to make sure that all of our schools are continuing to get better and strive for excellence.
Dr. Young, how do we stack up? Or is there a way to measure our schools against the nation? It's one thing to be good in South Carolina, but I'm taking a page out of your book right there.
Yeah. So in January, West Pelzer will be back. Some of y'all were able to be at West Pelzer a couple weeks ago in the morning. They were a national blue ribbon school. It's tough when because sometimes it's comparing apples to oranges. Right. One of the things that we hear from realtors all the time, comparing to folks that want to move here. We'll have folks that work in Georgia move to Anderson, and they'll be driving down 85, driving an hour away. You'll have folks that choose to live here, that move here from Europe, that they live in Anderson One and they'll drive to BMW or Michelin or something like that, especially in the Powdersville area. So we continue to look for that. And the other thing I'll tack on is Mr. Moore is working with our principals. There's middle schools in Tennessee that are doing some really cutting edge stuff that we're trying to partner with. There's some high schools in Illinois and in the Chicago area that are really doing some cutting edge stuff that we're partnering with to just see if we can learn from them and how to keep them better. So that's what we're trying to do.
Awesome. Thank you.
Next is I'm going to turn over to Ms. Tollison, who we called out of the bullpen to fill in for Ms. Brady tonight. And she's going to do the student nutrition report.
Thank you, Dr. Young. You'll see that overall there was an increase so far year to date. And then and I think Dr. Young may speak to that a little bit, but also the focus for Mr. Dopkins and his team has really been staffing and making sure that every position is filled currently, but also planning for vacancies that may be coming up with the new elementary school opening. So he reported he's in a really good place from a staffing standpoint.
I do want to point out we had a community member whose kids came through Powdersville School, Miss Tanya Miller. We're going to invite her to the January board meeting, but she made a substantial donation, over $80,000, to pay the outstanding debt for our students on their lunch and breakfast. And so her kids came through our schools, and she wanted to do something to pay it forward, and wrote us a check for over $80,000 to pay off those debts. And so that's awesome. I'm going to tell her we appreciate it. And the other thing she's doing on top of that is working with Mr. Williams at Powdersville Middle School and Dr. Langford at Powdersville High School to start a scholarship trust fund. And so we just really appreciate her support of our district. We just were able to, Ms. Durham was able to communicate with her today, and so we're going to work out for her to come in January, so we can just thank her and let her be in front of you guys, so you all can thank her as well.
Could you tell me that name again, please?
Tanya Miller. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Wilson with the administration update.
Thank you, Dr. Young. We have 2 policies that are for first reading. They'll be on the table for review for the next 30 days. We have always followed the state's behavioral threat assessment and management process. We have not had a policy. A majority of districts in the state have not over the last several years. We're seeing more and more issues we're having to deal with student threats. So the state has asked that we all adopt this policy. So you can see both the policy and the administrative rule are all red, meaning it's all brand new for us. But these are the processes we've been following. There are a couple of updates this year that we've rewritten our manual that our principals and assistant principals and our mental health counselors use based on those few changes. So this will be up to date. I'll give you an opportunity for the next 30 days to read over this. If you have any questions about our process, this is basically the state law and how we go about dealing with a student, whether it's a threat to themselves or threat to others. So that's the
It's just a threat to an individual or group or the school as a whole.
Yes, sir. Any threat. Basically, if the student, there's a process we go through when the student makes a threat. The principal will bring in, and we have a process that we go through. Is it a real threat? Is it an imminent threat? Do they have a plan? Is there a gun that they can get their hands on? And then also work through the mental health of what's really going on with that kid. So it ensures that we never ignore an idle threat, quote unquote. So we have a process to document the fact that if any student makes a threat, we follow up on it. So that's what that does for us.
Before you get to the next thing, somebody that works behind the scenes has worked closely with this. I just want to give her Amber Monteroyo. She works with our mental health counselors and our McKinney-Vento students and our social workers, and she has been instrumental working with Dr. Wilson and Dr. Shealy to create the threat assessment manual. She's a great resource for our administrators, and we'll just thank her for all the work she's done and working with this flow chart that we have and a lot of the resources we have in the district. She's great, and just want to thank her for that.
Yeah, Amber's done a fantastic job. They rewrote, we have a very detailed manual, and they rewrote that entire manual over the summer based on the new requirements, and she does just an unbelievable job, and I'm very appreciative of what she does. That's absolutely true. And then I am asking for approval of a policy and administrative rule for second reading. This is a food service update, policy EF, food service, and then AR, EFR, food service. These were recommended by the state, the changes, and Mr. Dawkins and his staff have reviewed and have approved these changes, and they would like to ask the board to approve those tonight.
Okay, you've heard Dr. Wilson's recommendation, policy EF, and then AR-EF-R. Do you have a motion that we approve these 2 policies?
So moved.
Mr. Wilson, do I have a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, we're ready to vote. All those in favor, vote by the uplifted hand. And it's unanimous. And if you have any questions on the first 2 that you went over the threat session, they can call you during the month.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. Item E, Dr. Young, building program and safety update.
Yes, I'll go through this fairly quickly. For the safety update, we mentioned OnAlert. It's the AI software that we have on some of our cameras in our middle and high schools. And I just wanted to put this on here because now that we're doing a lot of our color guard at the basketball games over the last week, I can confirm for 100% that OnAlert is working because every time ROTC walks into the gym, we get an alert that there's a weapon in the gym. So I laugh, but at the same time, it has been affirming to Dr. Wilson and myself that in the administration that we are getting those alerts and the program is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, so that if there is ever an issue, we get that alert. We're still awaiting the state safety grant allocations. I know they started finalizing those, but we're still waiting that. And then the plan would be that we get the wearable badge that you may have seen on the news for our staff to have in addition to the badges that we all have on that would help us be able to communicate in the event of an emergency, just another level of safety that we would have in our schools. Also want to give you an update in October. We talked about the capital improvement plan. I don't know if you've been by the Powdersville schools, but if you have, you've seen that we've already, right before Thanksgiving, they started work on the roof there. So they hope to have that done by Christmas. And we've also got some plans to work around some of the I-ready testing that will be going on next week, but we've got that. The activity bus is ordered. It should be here next summer, so we have that in time for next school year. Calhoun High School bleachers, we work with the architect to replace the visiting bleachers. We should be able to have that done in the spring and summer so that it's done in time for the beginning of football season. I don't think those visiting bleachers at Calhoun High School have been touched since Dr. Neal.
Like 5 years ago.
Is it the bleachers?
The bleachers on the visiting side.
Press boxes.
So that's what we.
If you said that, I apologize.
No, we're getting the drawing, we're gonna put it out there, that'll be an alt, but we hope we can do that to make sure we can continue to have the same structure that we have now. So it can cost.
What will the new activity bus look like?
Probably similar to what we have now.
I get a wrap. That's just in space.
I think that's a great idea.
Getting Ms. Upton's picture saying the best district in the state of South Carolina.
It is. If you ain't first, you're last.
I think Mr. Baker would like that one.
Pass the policy of live streaming. Just an update on construction this week. We're going to be doing we've announced that the mascot is the eagle, but we've got a mascot reveal that will be done. That they worked really hard, and it's really cool. We've got Concrete, Powdersville Elementary, and Oak Hill partnered with the high school and marching band, so it's really cool reveal that. Want to thank Ms. Mazza for her help getting that done. We're starting to finalize plans for the leadership of the staff, and then in January, just before the long Martin Luther King weekend, we're going to, when I say we, I mean Ms. Tolson and Ms. Brady, are going to meet with staff members at Concrete and Powdersville and let them know their placement for next school year. We're still working with the Husky family to finalize all the easement there that they had a death in the family, so getting all the paperwork finalized has been a little more time consuming than we anticipated, and we're planning to communicate with families that week in January as well about the game plan for where students officially will be placed. Obviously, we've already published attendance lines. Most folks have started to figure that out, but we want to make sure that we communicate directly with those families about the game plan for next year. I want to share a few pictures with you. I realized, Mr. Moore and I went and walked the building the other day. I realized I always send you a picture of the classroom from the hallway. On the left, you see a second grade classroom where you can see that other doorway is the restroom. That'll be what all the primary classes, and then you see the collaborative space. This is the gym, full-size gym that, again, the play at Powdersville will get used, and it also might be another option for space for the middle and high school athletic teams to have there. On the left, next year, when we have all these students that we need to recognize, that will be the room where we can have the board meeting off-site back there at the back of Oak Hill where the conference center will be. I'm excited to have a space like that where we'll have some boards on the wall around the room so we don't have to build one in like that. And then on the right, that is the library with the glass. You can start seeing a little bit of the finishing touches going in and some of the details there. This is the kitchen. You can start putting the hood in so you can see that's gonna be, and the door that you see in the back of that picture is where students will exit the serving lines to go into the cafeteria. This is the ceiling when you walk into the front doors of the school there, and then on the right, you see they're starting to put in some of the casework and the workrooms in the front office. So it's just, there's some of the little details where you can start to see really what it's going to be looking like as we wrap things up. The restrooms, they started putting in the fixtures in the restrooms, and then the glass there, the stairwell that goes upstairs is a really cool spot in the school. And again, just down at the bottom, we're point out, as Ken said during the auditor presentation, using local option sales tax, which is also benefiting the taxpayers. Anderson wanted to have that in place, so that's how we're paying for this. This wasn't gone there forever. I know the folks up here at the table know that, but I want to make sure that everybody else knows that's how we're funding this project. Any questions?
You want to move on then?
Yes, and then something if you're good, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Tolleson for personnel.
You have a list of teacher recommendations. We had 7 folks joining us tonight. One of those was on a previous board agenda that joined us tonight. She wasn't able to be here originally. And then you also have 3 resignations that are just for informational purposes, and then a retirement list as well. But we would ask that you approve the recommendations to get us in good shape for next school year.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion that we approve the personnel?
I do so motion.
Dr. Neal, do I have a second? Any discussion? If we're ready to vote, all those in favor, please show by the uplifted hand.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next up, Leon, you can take over, please.
All right, next is that time of year where we need to do election of board officers. So do we have any nominations for board chair?
I'd like to nominate Nancy Upton for board chair.
I'll second. Do you second?
If there's no other recommendations, then I'd say we have a recommendation from Ms. Upton, put it up for a vote. If all those in favor, raise your hand. So Ms. Upton, congratulations. Yes, you are once again our board chair for.
Very short-lived, Dr. Young. I'll move ahead. Thank you.
I'm glad to turn it back over to you.
All right. The floor is now open for nominations for vice chair. Do I hear any nominations?
I nominate Mike Wilson for vice chair.
Mike Wilson has been nominated. Do you have any other nominations?
I nominate Brenda Ellison for vice chair.
Brenda Ellison has been nominated. Any other nominations? Do you have a motion that we close the nominations?
I'll make a motion to close the nominations.
And a second?
I'll second.
Chris made the second. We'll vote. All those in favor, show by the uplifted hand. Okay, we will now vote on Ms. Ellison, and then we'll vote on Mr. Wilson. All those for Ms. Ellison, please show it by the uplifted hand. And all those for Mr. Wilson, show it by the uplifted hand. Did you get the count?
I couldn't see all of it.
Okay. Mr. Wilson, you are now the new vice chair. Congratulations. Floor is now open for nominations for secretary. Can I hear it?
I'd like to nominate Wendy Burgess.
Wendy Burgess has been nominated. Do I have any other nominations? Melissa Hood has been nominated. Do you have any other nominations? I need a motion to close the nominations. Sells I need a second. Dr. Neal, we're ready to vote. All those in favor of Ms. Burgess, please show it by the uplifted hand. All those in favor of Ms. Hood, show it by the uplifted hand. and I believe Ms. Burgess. Ms. Burgess? Okay. All right, Ms. Burgess is the new secretary. Congratulations. Now we have to choose election of our board representatives. First, we'll choose the Renaissance Academy, and Mr. Wilson has been doing that. Are you still interested in holding that position?
I'd certainly be honored to, but if somebody else wants to do it, that's fine, but I don't mind doing it.
Would anybody else like to serve? Hearing none, we will vote on Mr. Wilson as representative for the Renaissance Academy. All those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. We will now move to Anderson District 1 and 2 Career and Technology Center. Ms. Burgess and I have been serving on that, but do we have any other nominations at this time? You're interested?
I'd be interested in that. I might be nominated myself.
I wouldn't mind sitting on that either. I'd be interested.
What, I'm sorry?
I'd be interested as well.
All right. Mr. Neal and Ms. Hood. Do you have anybody else? Okay, we're ready to vote on that. If you agree, I will take you two together, it's fine. We have Mr. Neal and Ms. Hood. All those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. Okay. Thank y'all, and welcome to the Career and Technology Center. You love it. I know this, I think you've done on this before. All right, our next item is item number 10, which is to adjourn. Do I have a motion? Ms. Austin, do I have a second? Second. All those in favor, please stand and thank you.